I've got 3 different 3/4 inch collets, all 5C. So I got a Neil Soki, made in Germany, okay, a Hardinge, and a Shars, all right. The Shars is, I don't think it's ever been used. I'm kind of leaning toward the Shars. It has much longer contact area. So if the runout's good, I think we'll go with that one. But we'll try them, see what happens. I'm just checking the spindle adapter first. Whatever runout it's got, we're not going to get any better than that. So it's like a 1/2 thou. Okay, let's try our workpiece. There's a scratch on this piece of stock, so there's one little rough spot in there. So basically the same, around a 1/2 thou, maybe just a tad bit better. This is that Neil Soki German collet. It's actually just slightly worse than the Shars. Well, I mean, pretty close. Okay, let's try the Hardinge. This is a Hardinge collet. It's actually about the same if I can turn it at a consistent speed. So all 3 of these collets are, I would say they're really good. The problem is this adapter's got some run out in it. I'm going to take this adapter back out and clean it again and reseat it and see if we can get it any better. Okay, so we're looking better. So what I did, I checked the spindle run out, and the spindle has 2/10 run out, and then our collet adapter has a little bit of run out. So I put them opposite of each other, and that's looking pretty good. So now let's try our workpiece again. That's as good as it's going to get, which isn't too bad. That's just under a 1/2 thou, so I think that'll be fine. Okay guys, we're going to start with the more difficult process first, which is this thread bore. And the tricky part, it needs to be straight and concentric. And that's not easy to do with a drill bit. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the Joe Piesinski method, which I've never tried before. So what you do, first of all, our thread size, or our thread hole size, tap size, for a 1/4 32, got our black book here. 1/4 32 is 7/32, or 220 thousandths, okay? So what I'm going to do is first drill an undersized hole. We'll come in a couple of drill sizes smaller and only drill in maybe 3/8 of an inch, okay? And then I'm going to come in, I bought one of these little, oops, wrong one, from these guys, M&M Tools. I bought one of these little micro 100 boring bars, and man, this is a work of art right there. Solid carbide, okay? So we drill a little hole, then we come in with our boring bar, and we bore out, and we're only going to go 3/8 of an inch deep, a nice concentric starter hole, and we'll get it as close as we can to the 220 thousandths, and we'll just check it with some gauge pins. And once we've got a starter hole, then we can come in with our tap hole drill and drill it out the rest of the way, okay? So that theoretically that little starter hole will keep our drill bit running straight. Especially with my lathe, the old South Bend, the tailstock has a lot of slop in it. It is on center, but you know, it's got a lot of wiggle room, okay? All right, so let's head on over there and give it a shot. And then once we're all done, we tap, and then we come back in and we counter bore or drill a little relief section. We got to go in 3/8 of an inch for the unthreaded part of the spindle. Okay, let's go do it. Okay, sorry I got the tool post right in your way. All right, I've already faced off our workpiece. Okay, we're going to go in with this 3/16 drill bit just a little ways just to establish the hole. And I've got a little piece of anti-bozo tape on there. That should do it. I had to make a little adapter to hold this boring bar. It's so tiny. I gotta tell you, I am really nervous about this part. This thing can break so easy. Alright, here's my setup. So I've got a indicator set up on the tool post for depth of cut. I've got my compound at 60 degrees. At 60 degrees it's about a 2-to-1 ratio, so I do a 1/1000th feed here will equal about a 1/2,000th cut. And I've locked my cross slide. I've locked it by tightening down on the taper attachment lock, which essentially locks the cross slide. So the only feeding I will be doing for depth of cut is with the compound. And I got my little travel dial here, so for our longitudinal feed. So let me put you on the tripod and let's see what happens. I put some blue Sharpie mark on the inside of our bore so I can hopefully see when we touch off. Okay, right there we're touching off. And 0. Let's see if we can take off 2/1000ths. And I'm just going to feed by hand. Okay, looks like it's cutting. Getting down to where the tapered part of the bottom of the drill hole would be. Alright, that's probably deep enough. Okay, now let me see if I can get a measurement. Sorry, I'm going to have to block the camera. Okay. That's 192. Okay, off camera I dialed in a 4/1000ths cut. That should take us to 200 thousandths. I'm going to get an idea how accurate we can be here, so let's give this a shot. I did put some cutting oil in there. Last time we did it dry. Oh, that wasn't too bad. Pretty close. We're shooting for 200. We're just about there. So that worked pretty good. And that depth of cut was pretty manageable. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'll bring you back when we get closer to our size. This should be our final pass. We're shooting for 219 thousandths. And I gave it an extra 3/10 depth of cut because I know we're going to get a little bit of deflection on the boring bar. Here's a 219 gauge pin. That's what we're shooting for. I already checked it off camera. That's a perfect fit. Alright, I like it. Here's our 7/32 drill bit. That fits in there nicely. Okay. Yeah, our boring bar is not long enough to get to the depth we need, so now that we've got this nice straight starter hole, hopefully this guy will drill a straight hole, concentric for us. Okay, well here we go with the drilling. We're going to use the no bozo tape trick again. Okay, I got the boring bar back in. Now we got to put a little counter bore, 380 thousandths deep and diameter of 0.250, a quarter of an inch. And we'll get a measurement. This should be the final pass. We're taking 3 7/10 of a thousandths off per side. We should hit our number with that. Here goes. Okay, moment of truth. Brand new quarter 32 tap. Well, the threads look really good. I don't think you guys can see down in there. I was really worried that tapped super easy, but according to the chart, that's supposed to give us 78% thread. Well, here's the moment of truth. Let's see what happens. It's feeling pretty good so far. I gotta come around to this side, hold this side. Well, something's wrong there. thread engagement feels okay, but looks like we need a little more clearance. Let me put a mic on here again. There might be a little bit of a raised area where the thread starts. Yeah, it looks like it's about a thou over right at the end of the thread here. Half a thou over. So I think it's just that little bit on the end there. I really don't want to do anything to this, so I think I'll just open up our counter bore. I think I'll just take a thou out of it. Okay, now let's try it again. Actually, I've already tried it. So full disclosure, guys, I did open that up, the counter bore, another thou, 1 thou. But the real problem was somebody didn't thread it all the way down. I think I had some chip packing going on. So it felt like I had bottomed out the tap, but it still had quite a ways to go. Wow, I like that. And it even just visually doesn't look like there's hardly any run out. I think that's going to work. I know this bar has got a little bit of run out from one end to the other, but we're only going to be using a little bit of it. Okay. All right. I like that. I'm going to do the spigot and the thread on the end. I'll do that tomorrow. I'm tired. It's time to quit for the day. It'll only be a few seconds for you guys. Okay. I don't know how well you guys can see this, but this is the grinder spindle. Make sure that we're making contact. Oh yeah. I mean, that's like not even a tenth. Here's the face of the washer flange. That's within a tenth also. Just to show you that it does read. Okay, I got our test indicator set up about where the stone is going to be running. So we do have some run out. About 2.5 thousandths. Now, I'm going to put a couple of flats on here so we can tighten this with a wrench. I mean, you don't want to tighten it very tight, but I've just got it hand tightened right now against our washer. Let me bring this in closer to the root here. Let's see what we have. Still the same. So we're a little off center. We're not concentric. I think we're going to continue on with this piece though. What I'll do is I'll mark the high spot. Well, I'll mark the high spot and then we'll figure out what we're going to do, if anything. Just going to add a couple wrench flats before we cut this to length. Good enough. change that insert. This insert's working much better. Except for the stringy tip. Try a little deeper cut, see if we get that tip to break. Okay, we're getting a little bit of taper. This poor old worn out lathe. And we're probably getting some deflection because I can't get a center in here. We just don't have the room. Okay, I'm going to call that 292 because we've got 7/10 there. Just to make the math easier, 292. Okay. Okay, we're going to live dangerously. We need to take 11 thousandths and we're going to take it in one cut. Okay, we're shooting for 251, mainly right down here near the root where the grinding wheel is going to sit. Close enough. And I wanted to leave a little, because 250 is what we're supposed to be shooting for, but I wanted to leave a little so we can clean it with a file a little bit and a little bit of emery. Now it is, let's see, how's the end here? It's going to be a little wider or larger on the end here. Yeah, about 250, we'll call it 253. So I'll do a little filing on the end. And we got to put a little chamfer on there. It feels really good. No slop. And I did a slight undercut at the root, so there's no ridge there at the bottom. Alright, I might be able to take a little off our length here. So we're ready to thread. See what we ended up at. To finish this side project, we're going to use our threading die holder that we made in the last side project. I'm just going to thread this by hand. I don't want to take any chances at this point. Check our fit. Looks like we've raised up a little burr. Okay, let me clean that a little bit. Yeah, so I had to just lightly hit that with a file and some Scotch-Brite. I think we're good now. There's our grinding wheel, little drive washer, and our nut. Let's run the lathe and see how it looks. Looks good there. Let's go try it on the tool post grinder. Okay, moment of truth. Just gonna give it just a little bit of snuggage. Don't want to overdo it. Okay. Our wheel, washer, nut, official wrench. Okay, let's spin it by hand, see how it looks. Not too shabby. Let's get the indicator on it. Well, we're still in the same place, so we've got a total run out of 2.5 thousandths. Okay, I'll tell you what, we're gonna run it and see if we get any vibration. As long as it doesn't vibrate, I mean, we're going to adjust the wheel. That should true it up. Yeah, let's see. Okay, I got a cardboard box and a couple rags in there for protection in case this thing explodes. I'm going to be standing way off to the side and I'm just going to plug it in. I already got the switch on, so I don't have to be near it. And we're going to see what happens, and as long as it's not vibrating really bad, we're just going to let it run for a minute or two. Okay, here goes. While we were running it, I reached around the back here. I don't know if you saw me or not. I felt our spindle body, and there's no vibration that I could sense. So it's running pretty dang smooth. So that's good. All right, well guys, I am quite pleased with the way that came out, even though it has a little bit of run out. This is the wheel that we're going to use. I think this is a 60 grit, and this is a little coarser 46 grit, and it's a general purpose, where I think this one is for hardened steels. Yeah, so if I have time, and it's not looking good, I might make another one of these. So what I was thinking, when we did the counter bore to create the pilot for drilling out the thread bore, if I ran that counter bore with the boring bar further in, I think that would give it a better chance to run more concentric, okay? Because we only went in about 3/8 of an inch, so we could have gone in a little more. I would have had the pilot drill deeper, because I don't think you could plunge with this without having a disaster. But yeah, that might be a better solution as far as an approach to making one of these. But anyways, I'm happy with the way that came out. We're not going to get to any grinding in this video. I'm just out of time for this week. Next week is a pretty busy week for us as well. We got some other activities planned. But if things work out, we'll try to get the grinding done next week for next week's video. Okay, well thanks everybody for sticking with this. The side project that required a side project for the main project hopefully is done. And we can get back on the main project. Okay, thanks everybody. We will see you on the next one.